Hello and welcome to Smallton. Well, as a request from one of my viewers, and somebody actually did ask for this, I'm going to show fitting two small lights into the front of this loco. Now I could also put a cab light in, but I don't have an LED small enough to fit in the top of this. I shall have to look for one. Anyway, first thing, if you're using a passenger train, make sure that the lights at the front come on at the same time as your passenger lights. And you also need to determine with a voltmeter which is the live wire and which is the neutral on your track. A simple voltmeter, which are quite inexpensive these days, will tell you that. Now this is for just DC. For DCC it's different, and this is a DC engine, so it will be done as DC. So once you've determined which is your live wire, you then need to prep your LEDs. Now, hang on a minute while I get one out and show you. If I can find it. Focus. Well, here we have an LED. Unfortunately, yes, there we go. You can see that there's like an arrow which points away to the negative, and the longer cable on here is the positive and the shorter one is the negative. So once you've got your LEDs, you then need to solder your resistor. But only on one for the moment. Once you've got your LEDs ready and your resistor, you then need to make a blanking plate. Now I'm going to try and make this as generic as possible so that you can use it for any loco, since the lad who asked for this doesn't have any railway stuff on his site yet. I don't know what he's using. But for this, I've just traced around the nose of this T.G.V. to make a blank. And the reason you have to make a blank is twofold. First of all, to try and cut out any light bleed, and the second, to actually mount your LEDs on. And that nearly fell on the floor, which is what I do not want. Right, having mounted your having got your LEDs and your blanking plug, you then solder in the resistor between the two LEDs from the positive to the negative, so that you've got them in series. Now the size of resistor will be appropriate to the size of the LEDs. I asked for 3-volt ones. They gave me much higher voltage, so the light on his is a little bit on the dim side. So you solder in your resistor between the two there, and your resistor into the positive on here. Bring it back to the motor. The pickups, since the pickup cables are wired directly to the motor here, that's what I've done. Now you'll notice I've swapped over the cables on here. This is so that it goes the correct way. Right, well, let's see if we can get this to move. And of course, the noise in the back is on. And if we bring it back the other way, because I've got there's nothing working, which is correct. Oh, that does surprise me. I've obviously wired that wrong. Right, oh, well, there you go. Even I make mistakes. So, I shall have to rewire that. Anyway, you get the idea. Make a blank. And put your LEDs in. Check you've got your wiring correct, unlike I've just done here. You can see, I don't know if you can see, it's the lights are flashing on there. I think it's something to do with the LEDs. Bring that along a bit, and you can see the passengers and the interior on the other coach. So that's all you need to do. I shall take this apart and rewire it so that the lights are correct, and that's it. That's all there is to it. I won't be showing you how to solder. There's lots of videos out there on soldering. All you need to do is check if you get 6-volt LEDs. You want 2 in series is 12 volts, so just say something like a 1 ohm resistor, just to connect everything up so it's not horrendously bright. And away you go, and some cable. Now that I know there are kits out there. Price for this lot, what? Maybe a couple of pounds. Price for the kit, well, you're talking anything from a tenner upwards. That is, if you can find something to, you know, an interior for whichever loco you want to install lights in. I don't know if there's one for this. If there is, fine. If not, which I doubt, then you've made your own interiors. So anyway, have fun. Now Dave from Dave Trains wanted to know about my layout. I'm not exactly sure what you're actually asking. If you're wanting an actual layout diagram, you're basically looking at a double loop, modified double loop, which swings back in and goes round, and with a sidings off for the industrial area here. Now the other line which goes underneath the tunnel isn't actually connected. It was going to be, and I've tried, but I just can't get the rails to line up properly, because it's such a steep, such a sharp bend. I'll have another go, obviously. I will do a scram picture. I just haven't had time. I've had a lot of things to do over the last few weeks. And I will do one. Now the layout in the garage, that's still a work in progress. I'm still working on various ideas for the actual layout. I have put a shelf up and I have covered it in card ready for buildings, and there is 3 pieces of track on there, basically for me to work out where tracks will go and where the sidings will go. As I want it to be the same as here, in that the buildings and the layout was thought along more or less the same lines, rather than put the layout down and then build the buildings around it, as a lot of people do. Yeah, you know, it's horses for courses. It's what you want at the end of the day. Now, what I've shown you as far as the fitting the LEDs, that's the way I've done mine. You will do yours probably differently. The trailing loco will probably not be done at this stage, because there's no motor in that, and I'd have to wire it from the wheels, and basically I've run out of the type of cable I use for that. If anybody wants to know what it is and they've got some access to some old telephone cable, absolutely ideal. I mean, this kind of stuff. Oh, focus. Yeah, this kind of stuff. Because it's a solid core, so that's easy enough to wrap around your wheel axles. If you've got one insulated, 3 rail systems ain't going to work. You'd have to do something else. And DCC, that's probably, you'd need to connect up the lighting system for your locos to the chip, or straight to the motor, whichever. Anyway, that's it. That's all there is. So thanks for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe if this has been of any use to you. I hope, you know, let me know. If not, tell me what you want. Yes, tell me what you want to see. This channel's for you. It's not for me. To be honest, it's you know, finding content for you is difficult. So it's your channel. You tell me what you want to see on here. All right, thanks for watching, and all the best. So bye for now. Bye.